We're going to talk about how to grow your small business with marketing. Now, when people learn about my track record helping businesses with my YouTube strategy, you can see a lot of my clients' thumbnails on the wall of thumbnails there. They hear about the success that we've had. I mean, many of these channels generate 7 figures per year just from YouTube leads, a couple of them 8 figures. Okay, so when they learn about that, they're excited to talk to me, but they have a misconception. They think that if they follow this same strategy on YouTube, that their whole business is going to be successful. But they're typically missing 2 things. The businesses that have the most success with this strategy, they already have these 2 areas covered, and then I can really help them with the third. So by the end of this episode, we're going to talk about all 3 of these areas. You'll know where you're at and you'll know what you need to create to really be successful and how to market your business. And then we're really going to focus on that third one so you can really know how to grow your business with marketing. Okay, so let's look at those 3 areas, and we'll just call this area marketing, but you've also got sales and fulfillment. Okay, so when you generate a lead, let's talk about the sales piece of it. What does that look like? What does that conversation look like? What do you do with the lead? Do you email them? Do you text message them? Do you have conversations with them? What does your website look like? What is their experience? Do you follow up with them? Is there any automations that happen? Do they see any testimonials, or do you get reviews from customers or things like that? Like, what is that experience? What do you do with the leads? And then do you have systems in place? Like when you make a sale, what is their experience like? What do they get? What do they receive? Is it a 6-month program over time? Do they have login access to something? Do they have one-on-one time with you? Do they have group coaching? And at the end, like, what is the result that they get? What's the deliverable? What's the outcome that they will get by buying from you or by hiring you? So when businesses come to me, and let's say they've been doing Facebook advertising and they already have a sales process and they already have fulfillment and they're generating revenue in their business, then I know that their business is prime to really grow their business with marketing. So that's why if somebody's really figured out their funnel and they've built a 7-figure business, then I can really leverage YouTube to grow their business. Like Noelle Randall, she came to me, she teaches real estate investing, she had a coaching program. And through Facebook ads, she had grown her business to about $1 million of revenue in the previous year. Well, I helped her leverage YouTube. She was able to turn off Facebook ads after just about 3.5 months because YouTube leads were so much far superior, and she was able to grow that revenue to about $6 million a year just from YouTube leads. So if you're really wanting to know how to market to grow your business, you've got to make sure that you've got a plan for these other 2 areas as well. Just have a plan for when you get a lead. What happens next? How are you leveraging email? How are you leveraging social media to nurture these relationships? And what is your sales process? Like, are you expecting people to go to a landing page? Did you know that landing pages have a very low conversion rate compared to one-on-one conversations? Let me give you some real math, okay? So typically Noelle Randall, when she gets 100 views on one of her videos, that'll generate 10 leads for her business. Now, if she sent those 10 leads to a landing page, she may or may not even get a single sell if she's selling something for $1,000 or more. But what she'll do with those 10 leads is she'll invite them to a conversation, and she'll typically get 3 conversations. And out of those 3 conversations, she'll typically have 1 sale, and she actually sells a $10,000 coaching program. So from just 100 views to generate a $10,000 sale or $10,000 of revenue, that's pretty significant. But you've got to know how you're going to sell that. You've got to know how you're going to fulfill on that, because those people that pay those $10,000, at the end of that 6-month coaching program, they have a property that's positive cash flowing for them. So now let's talk about the marketing strategy. I call it my leaf strategy. There are 5 ingredients, and ingredient number 1 is leaf titles. So let me explain my tree analogy. The tree has a broad trunk that goes out to branches, that goes out to the leaves. The trunk represents the core area of expertise that you have or that you focus on in your business, okay? The branches represent all the different categories of your expertise. The leaves, these are the most important parts. The leaves represent the questions your target audience is asking. And these are specific questions. So as an example, let's say you are an expert in productivity. The branches are lots of different types of examples of productivity. Here's an example of a leaf. What can increase productivity in a dental office? Or how to improve productivity on a construction site? Now, these 2 questions I did not make up. I used a tool to do some research. I typed in productivity and the tool let me know that these are questions that consistently get asked on Google and YouTube. So ingredient number 1 is leaf titles. Ingredient number 2 is length. You want your videos to be an average of 10 to 12 minutes in length. Ingredient number 3 is you want to keep their attention, right? So a stat that YouTube gives you is your average retention rate. If you've got a 10-minute episode, some people are going to click on it and then leave. But other people who find your videos through search, they're typically going to watch your video all the way to the end. So if you have an average of 50% or higher, YouTube will promote your videos to more and more of your target audience. And there's some other great strategies you can do to keep people's attention. Like in the beginning, you can set some curiosity hooks that will really create that curiosity about what's coming, so people will be more likely to stay all the way to the end. Ingredient number 4 is custom thumbnails. You've got to create custom thumbnails if you want people to click on your video. Here's an example with one of my clients, Jay Townsend. We created 6 different thumbnail ideas for a single episode. That way we could really look at them and see which one catches our attention the most, which one will create the most curiosity. Here's an example with Chad Littlefield. 6 different thumbnail ideas for a single episode. Now the cool thing is we can create different ideas like this, and a feature that YouTube just launched a couple months ago allows you to upload 2 or 3 thumbnails at the same time, and YouTube will rotate between them and will test the data and figure out which one is the best performer. Now ingredient number 5 is to launch 5 episodes per week. Yeah, I'm talking about creating a daily YouTube channel. Now, if you're smart about this, you're busy, right? So if you're smart, you're gonna film it in batches. Today, I'm filming 20 episodes in a single day, and I recommend you do the same. It's a 9 to 5 day, but that way you can have a daily YouTube channel like this and only have to film once every 4 weeks. Okay, what I'm gonna share with you now is gonna have some light bulbs turn on, okay? It'll tie all this together. So this might look a little complicated at first. So I did the keyword research and I found these questions, and they're all on the branch Real Estate Investor Find. Okay, so all these questions have those same 4 words in common. But this is a different branch, Real Estate Investor Become. So how to become a real estate investor with no money, or how to become a real estate agent for investors, or commercial, or full-time, or millionaire, or passive. So when I grouped the questions like this for Noelle, I showed it to her and she says, you know what, now that I look at them like this group here, that's not my target audience. I don't need to dominate this branch on YouTube. But this one, this is totally my target audience. I want to dominate YouTube for every single one of these questions. So we checked first to see what our current ranking was like. If we typed in each one of these questions on YouTube, if she was at the top, in the top 3, then we put a yes. If we had to scroll down, but we still found her in the top 20, we put starting. And if we scroll down but we still didn't find her, that's a no. So in this branch that she did not need to dominate, she actually already had a little bit of traction because I'd been producing her channel for 4 years. But on this branch, she mostly had no's. So there's a lot of opportunity there. She filmed several of these videos in February, several more in March, several more in April. And you can look at the data. By April 18th, we had turned 2 yeses into 8 yeses. And by May 16th, even more yeses. By July 3rd, majority of this branch is a yes. So now she is dominating becoming a real estate investor in that entire branch. So take a look at this. If I type in what is private banking and wealth management, you see Laurel Langmeyer has the top 2 positions, and she's a client of mine. If we type in another question, how to discipline a teenager that won't listen, you'll see Nicolene Peck at the top, and you'll see her on the wall behind me. If we type in what is a short sell versus foreclosure, you'll see Nicole Espinosa. She's a client of mine and we produce her channel. So this strategy is tactical, it's predictable, and you can measure the results over time. I want you to master this strategy. I want you to really be able to market your business on YouTube in this way. And I've created a mini course for you. This course is only $17. It's called the YouTube Lead Gen Blueprint. And I'll put a link below. It's youtubeleadgen.net. So if you go to that link, you'll be able to learn more about this course. But essentially, I teach you all the steps. And I go into detail, showing you many examples so that you can master these steps and leverage YouTube to generate leads for your business. So go to youtubeleadgen.net. It's only $17. If you take this course, you'll be able to complete it in a handful of hours, and you can begin marketing your business in this way. I'll see you there.